Okay, well, good evening, everybody. This is the convening of the Cottonwood Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood for presentation of proclamations, awards, and introduction of new city employees to be held on October 4th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. at the Council Chambers building. So first up, we have a couple of proclamations. We've got, first up is the month of October 2022, proclaiming as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we're fortunate to have Ms. Tracy McConnell here with us to receive this proclamation, so I'll go ahead and read it, and then we'll have you up here to say a few words. Okay. So whereas domestic violence is a pattern of coercive control and abusive behaviors in any intimate or familial relationship that are used to gain and maintain power and control over another, and whereas domestic violence can present in many different ways, including emotional abuse, economic abuse, physical abuse, using children, reproduction coercion, isolation, and sexual abuse, and whereas domestic violence is an issue affecting Arizonans in all communities, regardless of age, race, gender, economic status, religion, nationality, or educational background, and whereas more than 12 million women and men are victims of rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner in the United States every year, averaging 24 people per minute. And whereas 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men have experienced contact sexual violence, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. And whereas victims of domestic violence are more likely to experience long-term mental and physical health concerns, including a higher risk of chronic disease, substance abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, and risky behaviors. And whereas promoting healthy, respectful, and nonviolent relationships can help reduce the occurrence of intimate partner violence, support survivors, and lessen short and long-term harm on individuals, families, and communities. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an important opportunity to enhance education, prevention, and intervention efforts around domestic violence and support organizations and individuals who provide advocacy efforts, services, and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, I, Tim Malinsky, Mayor of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim October 2022 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and call upon all citizens, parents, governmental agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, hospitals, schools, and colleges in the City of Cottonwood to support domestic violence survivors and take a stand against all forms of violence and abuse in relationships. Ms. McConnell, welcome.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Greetings, council members, mayor, and fellow citizens. My name is Tracy McConnell. I'm the Community Development Director for the Verde Valley Sanctuary. And I wanted to share a few words about domestic violence today. For far too long, domestic violence was considered a family issue and was left for families to address in private. Today, we recognize the important roles of the public and private sectors, nonprofit organizations, communities, and individuals in helping to prevent and address domestic violence and create a culture that refuses to tolerate abuse. Domestic violence affects millions of people in the United States and thousands of people in the Verde Valley. Causes significant harm to the physical and mental health of survivors and their families, and undermines their economic stability and overall well-being. While significant progress has been made in reducing domestic violence and improving services and support for survivors, much work remains to be done to expand prevention efforts and provide greater access to safety and healing. During National Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, we come together to reaffirm our commitment to ending domestic violence and supporting survivors. To strengthen our response to domestic violence, we need the citizens to know that there are safe places to get the help they need in their own community. And the Verde Valley Sanctuary is here to do just that. It began about 29 years ago, and our mission is to provide safety, services, and comfort to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. And we have free services. All of them are in-depth services: emergency shelter, legal advocacy, outreach center, youth empowerment services program, a crisis hotline that's 24/7, 365, community education. Now we have transitional housing, and we have time to talk support groups. Last year, we provided services to nearly 1,500 survivors, and we provided prevention education to more than 2,000 youth across the Verde Valley. During Domestic Violence Awareness and Prevention Month, we honor the tremendous dedication of advocates and service providers, honor the courage and resilience of survivors, and recommit ourselves to standing with them for safety, dignity, and justice. There's still much more to be done, and it will take all of us to do it. We must rededicate ourselves to creating a society where domestic violence is not tolerated, where survivors are supported, and where all people have an opportunity to thrive without fear of violence or abuse. And on behalf of the Verde Valley Sanctuary, I want to thank the mayor, the council members, and our fellow citizens for proclaiming October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Ma'am, if you don't mind, we're going to come forward and present you with this proclamation, get a photo.
Okay,
I don't see any board members here. Are you just here alone?
Thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm alone.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Representing them, but
Good, of
alone.
course. Well, let's get our chief of police up as well.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. May I say something?
Please.
I think it's safe to say that everybody in here has somehow been touched by this, and no matter what demographic, age, or income level or whatever, so thank you so much.
If you haven't been by in a while, they've done just an amazing job with their thrift store, and they have a beautiful garden in the back as well. And just absolutely it's just a very welcoming space. So really, and if you haven't met their new executive director, you should take a minute to head over there and meet her. Yeah, she's got some great plans for the organization. So thanks. That's right. Thanks for all you do. Yeah. Okay, one more proclamation. It's proclaiming the week of October 16th to 22nd, 2022 as Cities and Towns Week. And we have Mr. Rudy Rodriguez here this evening to accept this. So I'll read the proclamation. You can get up and tell us all about cities and towns in 20 minutes or less. All right. So whereas the citizens of Cottonwood rely on the city of Cottonwood to experience a high quality of life in our community, and whereas cities and towns in Arizona work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to deliver vital city services such as water and sewer utilities, fire, police, and emergency medical response to ensure safe communities, and whereas cities and towns in Arizona also provide services and programs that enhance the quality of life for residents such as parks, utilities, street maintenance, libraries, community centers, and recreational programs, and whereas it is important for Cottonwood to continue to provide the excellent delivery of services and programs that our citizens have come to expect in our community, and whereas it is one of the responsibilities of Cottonwood officials to ensure open and accessible government through frequent communication with citizens using various avenues and means, and whereas through participation and cooperation, citizens, community leaders, local businesses, and municipal staff can work together to ensure that services provided by the city of Cottonwood can remain exceptional elements of the quality of life of our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Cottonwood joins with the League of Arizona Cities and Towns and fellow municipalities across the state of Arizona in declaring October 16th to 22nd, 2022 as Arizona Cities and Towns Week.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. I'm the Deputy City Manager for the City of Cottonwood. I won't go into that much detail, so I'll just read off what's on here. The Arizona Cities and Towns, by the way, this is the 21st Cities and Towns Week that we have. The Arizona Cities and Towns Week is set aside each year to provide citizens with important information about the services and programs provided by their city and town, and to introduce the elected officials and employees that deliver them. And as we know, we're very proud to be the only full-service community in the Verde Valley, providing not only water and wastewater, but also we have an airport, a beautiful recreation center that is the very pride of this community, and a lot of other services. So we're real proud to be here today.
Great, thank you. I think, how many, there's 92, I think, cities and towns across Arizona, is that?
Yes.
Sound about right? Yeah. I've tried to visit almost all of them, but still have a few more on my list. So anyway, thank you, Rudy, for that.
Mayor and Council.
Let's, do you want to do one more photo with Mr. Rodriguez, and then you can post it on your social, give it to Laura for that kind of stuff. Okay, great.
I didn't,
I do.
I didn't expect it. Either, but it was still possible.
Wear the mask.
I don't like missing Tanner out.
Okay. Next, we have some new employees to introduce. So I'm going to call up Mr. Rodriguez again to introduce. You've got four transit drivers, three that are here this evening to introduce. So I'll go ahead and let you introduce your new employees, please.
Again, Mayor and Council, I am the Deputy City Manager, and at one point I was the interim transit manager for the city of Cottonwood. Not that I relinquished that title. Lisa Boring is with us. She's our new transit manager. We have three individuals. I want to first thank the council for allowing us to have two additional transit drivers this year. As you know, we've struggled during the COVID closures and the pandemic. And now we're just about fully staffed. We have one more position to fill. All of our services are back full strength. We've actually added on a Jerome route on Thursdays, three runs up to Jerome, which they're really glad we're having it, and we're really pleased to provide it for them. And we've also made a mini circular over in Sedona, also starting October 1st. So we're real proud of this crew. We're also very proud of the services that we provided, including even the limited services we had during the pandemic. So without any more delays, because yes, we have only a certain amount of time, I will start off with Ron Rudisell. He was born and raised in Indiana. He moved to Cottonwood back in 2000. He was a deputy sheriff and a corrections officer before he moved to Arizona. He also was in the Army for 9 years. He has a wife, 3 kids, and 1 grandchild he's proud of. So I have Ron. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Evening.
Like I said, my name is Ron Rudisell. I've been with Transit now since May. And they just put me on a permanent schedule where I'll be doing the Sedona runs in first thing in the morning, and I'm liking it a lot.
Great.
I've been in the Verde Valley for 20 years, and I tell you, this is one of the best jobs I've had in a
Awesome.
while. I mean, it's very family oriented. I mean, everybody's about whatever you need. Take care of
Awesome.
you. I like it.
Great. Well, welcome to the team. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And don't go anywhere, as we're going to get a big group shot at the end of all this, okay? Like one big happy family, just like you said, right?
Next, Mayor and Council, we have Mark Jacobson. He was born and raised in Southern California. He escaped California in 1997 and moved to Cottonwood. He was self-employed for a while and also has been involved in law enforcement and worked for casino resorts and some retail. All of his kids are still residing in Arizona, and he enjoys everything Arizona has to offer. He really enjoys working for the city of Cottonwood and enjoys providing services to the community.
Evening.
Hello, my name is Mark Jacobson, and I am a retread because I have worked in the buses before. I retired for a while and had a little too much time on my hands, you know, and of course inflation and all, so, you know, part-time is what I'm doing now, and I do enjoy it.
Great. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mind you, over the next council sessions, you'll probably be seeing a lot of transportation drivers. As you know, we really fully stocked them, so. Last, we have Steve Gowdy. He was born and lived his first 30 years of life in the western shores of Michigan. Following some advice from a physician, he relocated in the desert southwest to alleviate some of his son's chronic health issues. Since that time, he's been working as a CDL driver on and off. This is his first experience as working for an actual public entity, and he's really enjoying learning about the industry and how municipalities work. He's looking forward to what this department can do, as the rest of us are, seeing that now we're fully staffed. Steve?
Good evening. My name is Steve Gowdy. Came here from Michigan almost 30 years ago. I've worked in transportation most of my life. Public transportation is new to me, something I've never done before, and I'm enjoying it very much. Like the way the department's going. Rudy and Lisa are really picking up the reins and gotten things going for us. So, I'm enjoying it very much.
Good,
Yeah.
great. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mayor Council.
good. I got to say, I love seeing more buses out there. It's nice to see the routes are all, full and doing what they need to do. So thank you. It's a much needed service here. So thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. Marie Carpenter, you're up next. You're going to introduce, I think, just one employee this evening. Is that right? Great.
Mayor, Council, it's a privilege and an honor to introduce to you our newest communication specialist. This is Courtney Wolters, and she's joined us. She moved to Flagstaff when she was about 18, and she is also a refugee of California. And but she graduated from the Martin Luther King High School, and she moved out here when she was about 18, and currently resides in Prescott Valley. She's a very outgoing and happy person. She fits in very well with our communications team. And she has a husky, right?
Yes.
Named Loki. And she says she's obsessed with, and I can attest to our fur babies. Likes to go out on hikes with her dog, spend time at the lake, quality time with friends and family. And she enjoys helping people, so this is a perfect job for her. And I think she's found her niche with the Cottonwood Police Department, Comm Center, and the City of Cottonwood, because we are very much a family dynamic, and we've all pulled together to become that family and team for Courtney. Right now, she has any number of choices of agencies to go work for. As you know, we're always looking for communications specialists, as are our neighboring agencies. And we're very honored that she chose us, and we look forward to what she can do as part of our team. So welcome to the team.
Thank you.
I will say that communications specialists outside of the radio are inherently shy, so she's like, please don't make me talk. So I told her she wouldn't have to. So, welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. And thank you for choosing us. Thank you. Yeah. All right. And last we have Sergeant Murray. Kevin Murray, come on up. And you've got three officers to introduce this evening.
Actually, I only have two with me this evening, and then one officer and one of our newest records employees. So,
Did you give Shoemaker the night off because he survived that community meeting the other night?
well, he happens to be the one that's not here, but yes,
Right.
I didn't necessarily give him that time. So for starters, I'm Sergeant Kevin Murray, if those of you that don't know me, from Cottonwood Police Department. And first I'll introduce Dean Gardner. He's our newest records employee within our records division. And Dean was born in Zama, Japan. He's sitting back over there, by the way. And throughout his lifetime, he's lived in Hawaii, Japan, Washington, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Cottonwood twice. This is his second stint in Cottonwood. He mostly grew up in San Diego, where he graduated from Cal State Northridge with his Bachelor of Arts degree. And after graduating college, he entered the world of Native American gaming, where he took on jobs such as vending, warehousing, and car dealing. He moved back to San Diego in 2005, 2006 to take care of his father for over a decade. He moved back to Cottonwood in 2016 after his father's passing. And prior to his current employment at the Cottonwood Police Department, he worked at the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office at the detention facility in Camp Verde. He enjoys hiking, buying and selling on eBay, and collecting graded sports cards, comics, and die-cast cars.
Good evening, my name is Dean Gardner, and as Sergeant Mary said, yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. This is my second stint in Cottonwood. I was a previous car dealer at Cliff Castle Casino back in 05-06, and I remember actually the Tavern Grill next door had just opened. They had monitors on the side of the walls and stuff like that. I was here for a couple years, and after my father fell ill, had to go back, take care of him, take care of business. And as Sergeant Mary said, after his passing, came back here. Came back in 2016 before the boom. It's pretty wild how things have changed, even since from 2016. But yeah, I worked at the detention facility next to Out of Africa in Camp Verde. I was there for about 3.5 years. I got to see everybody on their more or less worst day because I was in booking and see them coming in. But then I also would send them out as well, so I'd also release them. Opportunity arose at the Cottonwood Police Department. It's been fantastic. They got Tilly the dog and a lot less traffic. I don't see a lot of people in orange jumpsuits, so it's definitely a step in the right direction. And yeah, like I said, you know, it's funny, when I came back to Arizona, and I told my friends, you know, hey, I'm going back to Arizona. They said, hey, you're going back to Phoenix? Like, Phoenix is the only city, you know. I said, nah, you guys got no idea, man. There's a whole northern part of the state that's pretty fantastic, and I'm just glad to be back.
Great.
Glad to be back, yeah.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah. Thank you.
And we've been waiting to fill this position for a long time, so we're really, really, really glad to have you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Next, I have Officer Lucas Renfro. He is sitting here in uniform. Lucas was born and raised in a small town of Galesburg, Illinois. He attended Western Illinois University, graduating with his bachelor's degree in law enforcement and justice administration with a double minor in community health and computer science. While in college, he achieved his paramedic certificate and worked as a paramedic for 3 years. Upon graduating from WIU, he was hired by the Macomb Police Department and worked there for 9 years. While there, he served as a school resource officer, a canine officer, senior officer in charge, a field training officer, recruiting officer, LiDAR instructor, and public relations officer. He left the department and worked for the BNSF Railway as a freight conductor and locomotive engineer. BNSF allowed him to transfer to Arizona in 2017, where he's been ever since. And he currently resides in Camp Verde and spends all of his off-duty time doing anything outdoors.
Formal name's Lucas. I go by Luke. Most people call me Lou because they don't hear the K. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and the belief that the chief and Commander Dow had on me during my initial investigation to give me the opportunity to come back into law enforcement. It's like putting on an old glove. You kind of step right back into it. You catch the same pace. I will say this department, in contrast to my last one, seems to be a lot more dynamic in its nature. And, but the group we have there right now is really solid. I'm really excited to be here and to have the opportunity to come back and hopefully serve the citizens of Cottonwood until I retire.
Excellent, great. You seem very well-rounded. We're lucky to have you.
I was not bored at my last job. I put on as many hats as I could, so.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Great, welcome. Thank you. All right, well, let's have council come down and all the new employees, and if you have any family members with you, bring them up. We'll get one big group shot. It's going to be the whole room, yeah.
This is why we need a bigger tree.
It's true. Okay, that's it. We're going to go ahead and convene this meeting, and then we'll meet here in about 5 minutes for our regular meeting. Thanks. I said convene, I meant end. Sorry.